my back. Oh. So, you want to fit 35s on your Tacoma, and you're wondering how you do it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to put 35-inch tires on your Tacoma and have no issues. I can't guarantee that last part. You're going to have to buy a sledgehammer while you're at it, but we'll get into that in the video. Stay tuned. Expeditions, my name is Bajan. I'm going to be showing you how to shove 35-inch tires on your Tacoma because nobody would rather have 35-inch tires than your truck. Oh, my CV axles are leaking. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, tell you the steps that you need to take. So stay tuned, watch this video. But before, I am doing an Instagram giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a pair of Baja Designs lights. To be entered into that giveaway, go to my Instagram, which is going to be located somewhere over here. It's at SoCal Expeditions, and then follow the 3 steps that I have to get into that giveaway. Let's jump straight into this video. Step 1 of fitting 35-inch tires is not even buying the tires. Don't do that yet. Step 1 is to come to your truck, realize that the cab mount is the first thing that you need to take care of. This is your priority. The reason that I say it's your priority is because the cab mount on a Tacoma sticks out way too far. As you can see, even with a 35-inch tire, I am already rubbing. The cab mount is located right here. Once it focuses, usually it sticks out to about, I don't know, right there. A little too far for me. So what to do is get something called a cab mount chop done. This is gonna cut back the mount for the cab, and then if you can, try and tuck the corner in as much as possible. As you can see, the cab mount is flush and then it tucks in this very last corner. That is the best thing to do to get everything as far back as possible. The second thing you're gonna need to do and to be able to run 35s is increase your caster. So with the stock upper control arms, if you think that you can just get a 3-inch lift, use the stock upper control arms and then a cab mount chop and call it a day, you're gonna be in for a doozy when you realize that the only way to get that tire to move forward on this 3-inch lift is to buy different upper control arms. These specifically are JBA upper control arms. I feel like they make great ball joints, and ball joints are less maintenance than uniball. They have their pros and cons. I'm gonna be switching to uniball, so if that makes a difference for what you want to buy. The only reason I'm doing that is because I have a different suspension setup coming in. But getting back to high caster upper control arms, the more caster you have, the more the tire can go forward or back. So more caster means higher than, or going up numbers, so say 2, 2.1, 2.2, that's going to move the tire forward in the fender. And then if we get less caster, say 2, 1.9, 1.8, that's going to move the tire back. You do not want to move the tire back. Your goal is to move that tire as far forward as possible. If you can get 4 degrees of caster on different upper control arms, that's great. That's what you want. This is, again, something that's only going to be achievable once you get different upper control arms. There is no way around this. You can't, the stock upper control arms just can't do it. So spend the $450, $500, get yourself a pair of high caster upper control arms and set your caster to maybe 3.9, 4 degrees. Perfect. You're about almost set to run 35s. Step 2.5 is to actually cut 2.5 inches off your fenders and your flares. The flares are what are going to come off. You'll mark the fender 2.5 inches in every few inches, make an outline along the entire fender, grab an angle grinder, and go to town. With the fenders, you can actually take them off, mark 2.5 inches as well, and then Dremel or use like a body saw or whatever to just get a clean cut, and then you'll just throw some rubber edge trimming on it and you're good to go. Doing this means that you're gonna have all that extra space to be able to stuff this bad boy inside your fender well. Without doing that, the fender sticks down way too low, and the fender flare actually has like a little bit of like a, I don't know how to describe it, like an L shape on the bottom or whatever, and you're just gonna rip them off anyways. So it's best to just cut your fenders, cut your flares, and you have all this extra room to shove that 35-inch tire in there. Okay, step number 3. You have your cab mount chop done, you have high caster upper control arms, Now you need to go on Amazon and order a 6-pound sledgehammer, or go into Home Depot or use a super heavy hammer and just start beating your pinch welds back. Let me show you what the pinch welds are. If we look right here, these tabs right here used to be stuck out and straight, just along this line right here. You can see the angle grinder marks. Just cut a bunch of little slots into them and then just beat the hell of them back. Once they're back and flush, start beating everything else back. Just keep smacking it, because I guarantee you're probably still gonna rub somewhere. So this is already smacked in, this is smacked back. I've literally spent plenty of time trying to smack back even the cab mount chop. You're gonna need to hit things back, because again, you're trying to fit these huge tires. And needless to say, even after you spend all that time hitting things back, you're still gonna rub, even in reverse lock, or maybe when you're off-roading and you're stuffing the tire and turning it fully. It's just there's not enough room unless you spend a ton of time hitting everything back, tubbing it, the inside of the fender well, and just making sure that there's no way that that tire is gonna make contact with the inside. You gotta be okay with accepting a little bit of rub here and there. It's that's funny, that's a good one. Okay, step 3.5. This is another super important step, is picking your rims. First, pick if you want 16-inch rims or 17-inch rims. If you want 16-inch rims, you're gonna get more sidewall. If you want 17-inch rims, you get less sidewall. And by sidewall, I mean how much of the side of the tire shows. When you do pick 16 or 17-inch rim, find a rim style that you like. Once you find that rim style, see if it has different offsets or backspacing. The perfect backspacing, in my opinion, is 3.5. And the perfect offset is -25 degrees. So the more offset or backspacing, the more that the center of the hub is gonna move into the rim. The higher the number, say like 40 degrees of offset, and it's gonna bring everything forward. I hope that makes sense. If not, look up a video describing offset and backspacing, and it'll be able to clear things up for you extremely well. Once you pick if you want a 17-inch rim or a 16-inch rim, then you need to start looking for tires. I run a 315 75/16. This is a 35, or it measures out to like 34.8 something, but this is what is technically considered a 35. In a 17-inch configuration, you're gonna wanna look for 315 70/17s. And then once you got that all picked out, get it shipped to your house, and you can move on to step 4. Step 4 is the best one, because that's when you realize you need to spend more money. Okay, and so now we're on to step number 4. You've done the cab mount chop, you've gotten high caster upper control arms, you've beat back all the pinch welds, and you've sledgehammered the rest of it, almost everything you can find that needs to be beat back. Your caster is gonna be set, you're gonna be driving, and then you're gonna notice these tires weigh a lot. These are 72-pound Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws and a 315 75/16. I'm not talking specifically about these tires, but most of these 35s are really, really heavy. So you're gonna think, do I wanna either endure the pain and suffering of stock gears? For me, it's 3.73, and that's my gear ratio, and it is slow. Going up hills in headwind, fully loaded, I'm doing 35 or 40 in third gear just to have enough torque to get this truck going. So if you can do that, if you can endure that pain, stay with the stock gears. But if you're like me and you finally give up, you're gonna need new gears. From East Coast Gear Supply, 488s with ARB locker in the rear is gonna run you around $3,226 before you do the core change. Once you send back your cores, you get like $600 back or something close to that. But you have to think, can you afford spending $3,226 on your credit card like that just to get new gears? I know a lot of people like me who have ran the stock gears, they ran them for a long time, they decided to wait it out, and I feel that it was smart me doing that, because I had enough time to save my money. I drove everywhere slow, but the advantage that I got is my highway RPMs. On these 35s, when I was doing 75 on the freeway, I was doing 1,950 RPMs. And that, in comparison to 488s, when I'm gonna be doing 75 miles on the highway and I'm gonna be doing 2,500, 2,600, RPMs. It's a trade-off. So you got to think, can you afford a re-gear? Do you want a re-gear? You know, these are heavy tires. I'm gonna recommend you probably want to get them sometime during the ownership of going to 35s. And then step number 5, enjoy your new tire size. These are absolutely insane. The capabilities that you get with 35s over a 32 or 33, night and day difference. You'll notice that not only is the height increase amazing, but these also look 10 times better. In my opinion, when you see a truck on 35, specifically a Tacoma, it looks great. Jeeps are running 37s, 39s, 40s, and it looks like nothing, but shoving this big of a tire on your Tacoma, I think it looks amazing. And if you're willing to sacrifice the money and the effort that it takes to get to 35s, it is 110% worth it. I don't think that I'll ever go down tires. If anything, I think I'm gonna go up. Stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer them. Again, I encourage you to hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna be coming out with an entire build series of my truck as I'm switching directions, and I'd be glad if you subscribed so you're able to stay and watch all those videos. And again, the Instagram giveaway. Go on Instagram. There's a chance to win free Baja Designs lights. I don't know why anybody would not want to win free things. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And then step number 6, this isn't even a step, this is like a bonus added, is that your sexual attraction goes from, you can be the ugliest person in the world. You can get 0 Tinder matches, post a picture of your 35s. Ooh, everybody on Instagram wants to follow you. Jeez, you say just like, hey, I'm on 35s, and the 33 owners are like, oh shit, he's better than us.